So today I will explain exercise number 5, which is orthographic drawing of the model. So for this exercise you need to have this completed in a correct way according to the rules, okay? So that you can do this exercise. Now, in real life, in design, in future projects and classes, this type of drawing, the orthographic that I will explain, is not done after the model. It is done before the model. So if you're the designer of this, for example, before you make this, you will have an orthographic drawing and an isometric drawing, okay, of what? Your idea. After that, you build this according to the drawings. But in our case, in our exercise, we did this before this, because we are still learning the techniques. Here it's important for you to learn how to do it. The rules, it's like the rules of the isometric drawing, the rules of the 1 and 2 point perspective. The same here. You need to understand the rules, so it will help us to have this completed and ready, so you can look at it and learn from it. But in future, this will not happen. You will have an idea. You will do the drawings first, inaccurate drawings. Later you will do the very accurate drawings with measurements, with scale, which is orthographic is one of them, and isometric. So orthographic, isometric always go together. After that is model making stage. This is how you will go in all projects in the future, okay? Except in this exercise now, when we learn. Okay, let me just have a quick look. Is it okay? Okay. So, orthographic drawing, what is that? Well, it's one of the technical drawings, like isometric, orthographic. They both use measurement, so you cannot draw in orthographic without knowing the measurements. You need to know exactly the measurements of every detail. You need to know the scale. So in our case, in this case, we will use scale 1 to 5. 1 to 5. We explained last time what that means. Here is a quick reminder. So if we have 1 to 1 scale, it means the real size. So this size, this is 10 centimeter, on the paper it will be 10. This is 5, on the paper it will be 5. But if we have like 1 to 2 scale, it means half of it. Okay? So 10 become 5, 5 become 2.5, for example. 1 to 5 scale means what? 10 divided by 5. So the 10 centimeter cube become 2 centimeter on the paper, and the 5 centimeter cube become what? 1 centimeter. So this is the 5 centimeter cube. It will become 1 centimeter on the paper. Okay? Why we need to use here scale 1 to 5? Because as you can see, the paper size and the model size. So we cannot fit it inside. Okay? So we need to reduce the scale. Okay. Now, we know the measurements, we know the scale. Now, what is orthographic drawing really, and how do you approach it? So this is what our class will be about. Here I put a quick illustration as a visual only. The orthographic drawing is not in perspective, but this is as a visual. So if this is our object, for example, this is your model, you need to basically clarify to draw it. So it's a way of representing what? A three-dimensional object. This is three-dimensional object, okay? Whether it's a real model or still in your head, it's a 3D at the end. So a 3D object, representing it by using several two-dimensional views, multi-views. They call them multi-views. So I have an idea of this object, and I need to draw it so that I know how to build it, and someone else looking at my drawing knows how to build it. I need to draw it in multi-view. So from here I need to draw it. From here I need to draw it. From here, from the bottom, from the top, from the back. Okay? So as you can see, from the back it's different than from the front. The sides are different. Okay? So we need to draw each view separately. Okay? So here, for example, this object, From the top, it will look like this. But of course, in two-dimensional view on the drawing, I will draw this and show you. From one side view, this is side 1, it will look like this. From this side, it will look like this. And as you can see, from each of these points, we take lines, and we basically know that exactly they have to meet. So this point is this point, this point is this point, this point is this point, this point, and so on, okay? So it's basically taking lines from each of the corners, taking lines, and this way you know how the view will look like. It is a flat view, not a perspective view, okay? So, side 1, side 2, from the top, from the bottom, it will look just like this object. From the front, it will look like this. There is also from the back. These multi-view drawings, they are not always done like front view, 2 side views, top and bottom and back. No, sometimes just 3 views are used, like front, side, for example, top, for example. So, but the more views are included, the more complete information it will give for the object. So we know exactly how it looks like from all the views. Now, there is, you cannot, of course, draw these views chaotically the way you like, okay? There is certain rules to follow. One of the rules is, there is a first or third angle projection. It is this object, how it's rotated on the paper, according to first or third angle. We will use the third angle. I will explain it in a bit, okay? After, this will come after we choose which of the views will be our front view. Now, we need to select our front view always, like which is, this view is going to be the front, or this one, or this one, or this one, so that we know how to apply the first or third angle projection to draw the other views. Now, when you look at this object, any view can be the front view. I can take this view, this is the front. Or I can say, this is the front, or this is the front. There is no really a rule. I can draw it like this. This is the front, or this is the front, okay? Now, it depends on what I want to draw. But which view you select as front is very important, because it will influence the other views. How? In the rotation process. So if I select, for example, okay, this view is the front. Let's say this view is the front view, okay? This is my front view. Now, we need to imagine there is a pivot point here. We are going to use the third angle projection. The first angle projection also correct, but not to confuse you now, because of 2 different types of rotations, we will use one, the third angle projection. And in the future, if you need the first angle, it's very easy to switch to it, once you understand the idea. The third angle is also more simple now to understand. So there is a pivot point here. We select this as the front, from your point of view, okay? This pivot point, it rotates like this, as a rule. If this is the front, the top will be what? Imagine the pivot point. The top view will be this view, okay? Now, let's go back to the front view. The bottom view will be like this. Now, look carefully the rotation. I cannot draw the bottom view like this, because this is what I selected as the front. So, when we rotate it like this, it will be like this. So, on the paper, we need to see it exactly like this. Not like this, not in any other way, okay? Okay, let's go back to the front. This is the front here. The top will be exactly like this, the front, the bottom. Now, the side views, side 1, side 2. This side will be here, and it will be drawn like this, from here. Go back to the front. The other side will be like this. Then the back view, another rotation, and this will be the back view. Okay? Now let's go back. Side, front. Okay? We have another side here. Now look, also where they are placed is important. How they are rotated and where they are placed. So this view, if it's placed here, this side view must be placed here in exactly this way. I cannot draw it like this. Okay? I cannot. This is our front view. This is side view. This is another side view. This is a back view. Okay? So I cannot put the back view here or here. No. Because when we look at the paper, I will look, okay, this is the middle object, this is the front. Then we have here side view, another rotation back view, from the other side another side view, from the top we have the top, from the bottom we have the bottom. So you must place it extremely correctly aligned, okay? That's why we will have these lines, but I will draw it here exactly how it's done. This is just a visual here, okay? So, now be careful which view you select as front. I said any view is correct, it's true, but if you have a long object, like some students make a little bit, you know, the object is long, so you need to be careful. Now, if I select here this object, take it, this as the front, okay? This is my front view from here. How? What's the problem here? There is no problem really as a rule, but there is a problem on our paper size. So if we put the pivot point here and want to draw the top view, how will the top view be? Like this, from here. So it will be a very long object. Now, okay, back to the front. The bottom view will be like this, another very long object. So you have two very long objects on this paper. Even using scale 1 to 5, you may have some problems fitting it. So it's not logical. Not logical. Why choose this as a front view? If we choose this as a front view, now what will happen as the rotation? Pivot point, okay? This is the front. What's the top? This will be the top, okay? Then front, the bottom will be this view, okay? Back to the front. This side view here, pivot point here, rotated, it will be like this. The other side will be like this. The back, like this, okay? And placed in this place. Side, front, okay? Now, you can choose this as a front view, or you can rotate the whole object like this and choose this as a front. But then the top will be this, the bottom will be this, the side will be this, the other side will be this, okay? So it will look different, but it's the same object. So in the end, it's a three-dimensional object. No matter how I rotate it, if I know all the views, the way they look, if I know the measurements, I can build it correctly, okay? The important thing is to use, to select a certain view and then to rotate it correctly. If you make a mistake in the rotation, put, for example, the bottom view, if this is the front, put the bottom here, it will confuse the user. Because in my mind, when I look at your drawing, I will rotate it. Okay? And I will see, I understand the three-dimensional object. But if you confuse the views, like this side view, instead of being here, you put it here. It will totally confuse me. Okay? And I will put it as wrong. So it's a wrong drawing. So getting the rotation wrong, it means the whole thing is wrong. So be very careful about it. Okay, so let's use an object now and to actually see how it's going to work on the paper. So you have an A3 paper, you have a border 2 by 2 centimeter. This extra division that I put here in the middle, over there, this is to know the center point of the paper. You can put more divisions. They are always helpful to organize the location of the objects. So, now here I will not pay too much attention to this because I don't have a ruler or it's not really divided, so it will not be correct. But when you draw it correct with a T-square, okay, and you divide the paper correctly, you can organize it to be perfect on the paper. Because I don't want any objects touching borders or being close to the border. Okay? Anything close to the border or touching the border is a no-no. It's a mistake. Okay? So you need to have sufficient space from everywhere in the drawing, comfortable for the eye. Okay? So you need to plan. Now, the best way to plan with this object, for example, after you select the front view, just to have an idea, the object as a whole. Imagine this object is inside a box, and from the front, the widest point, from here to here, how much? This is 10, 20, 30 centimeter, 30 divided by 5, how much would that be? Okay? And you put what? A box here. According to the scale, 30 divided by 5, this is the maximum, okay? And you put a box. For example, you put it here, for example, okay? It doesn't matter now where. So this will be from here to here. In reality, it's 30 centimeter. Here it will be what? 6. Okay, so as an example. Now, this is the front view. Now, the side view here, which is as a rotation, this view, which will come here, this will have also a maximum measurement. So we have here 10, 15, 20, 25, 25 divided by 5. How much? You put here another box. Okay? The height is the same, because it's the same object, just rotated. Okay? It is still the same height. Now, the other side view here, also you will have a box. Okay? And then, for the back view, now the back view from here to here, it will be the same from here to here. You will put another box. Now, let's go back to the front view. This one. The top view will have a box. It will be located here. And back, so this is the top, the front, the bottom view, which will be also the size of this box, will be located here. Now, if you draw the boxes first of the views as the maximum measurement, you will know for sure that, okay, this is the layout of my drawing. Now I will draw the details inside, okay, each view. But you know that you have enough space from here, enough space, okay? So you know the location of each view, where it's going to be located. So that you don't draw this view in detail and then see, oh, okay, I don't have space for the other views. And then you have to delete everything. Also, notice the rotation, third angle rotation. This will be the front, top, bottom, side view, another side view, back view. Okay? They must be exactly located in these places. And when we take lines from each of these, they must be what? Totally aligned. Aligned. Not, for example, this view to be up, this view to be down. So this must be aligned, this must be aligned with this must be aligned with this, and so on. In addition, why you need to plan like this? Because these spaces, you see this space, 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 here space, here space. The space what between each view that you will draw must be the same. Now, how much to leave? There is no specific rule. But depend on the paper size, depends on what you're drawing. Now, if I put this view here and the space is too big, again, it's not logical. Later, we need also here some space for putting measurements and this kind of stuff. So we need to have a bit of space, but not too much. So if you leave like 3 centimeter, 2 centimeter as spaces, it's good enough for our drawing size. Okay? The trick is that all of them should be the same. Or if you make something not the same, this must be the same and this must be the same. So you can make the upper to the same, upper and lower, and the side views have the same. But the best, all to have the same spaces. This is very important. Okay? So if you don't follow this rule, it's like not following the alignment rule, which will mean there will be mistakes in the drawing. Okay? Okay. Let me now delete this because I didn't measure it correctly, so I cannot fit the object inside. Okay. So I will delete these boxes because they're not correct, as we say, as measurement. Okay. So, you will draw it after you draw the box, okay? I will draw it as I see here because it's not going to be correct in my case because I'm not using a ruler or measure. So, we selected what this as the front. Now please notice from each of these points, okay, you will see only the faces that are facing you. So if this is not a perspective, now when you look with your eyes, you can see a bit of this surface, you can see a bit of here, you can see a bit of here, but in the drawing we will not see. We will see only the faces that face you, exactly as 2D. So we see this face, but we don't see this face. This face is pointing up, okay? These faces pointing down, this face pointing towards you. This we will see. These we will see, this we will see. This we will not see, this we will not see, okay? This pointing in this direction. We will see them as a side views, okay? So we draw only the faces that pointing towards you. These we will see also, okay? From this view, okay? So all the faces that we see. Now, we have to draw according to scale 1 to 5, which will be the big cube 2 centimeter, the small cube 1 centimeter. So, for example, let me start here. Let me start with the big cube. So we have a 2 centimeter cube here. Imagine this is a 2 centimeter cube. Then we have attached to this side two cubes of 1 centimeter from each side. So we have here 1 centimeter cube, another 1 centimeter. Then we can see these two surfaces here, okay? We have to draw them also. We have two cubes here, so we can see these two faces on top of this cube exactly. Now when you draw what I expect you to do, to use the T-square and the triangles, because as you can see we have a lot of lines that go horizontally and a lot of vertical lines. Any mistake in that, there will be problems with the alignment, and I will see on the drawing that you haven't used your tools, okay? So it will be a mistake. So, we did this here, we have these faces and these faces also to draw. So we have another cubes here, and more cubes here. Thank you. Now, this is our front view. We don't see the depth, okay? We don't see anything, okay? We just see what exactly faces are facing us. Like in this example, if you take lines from each of these corners, that's what you see. You don't see the ones that are not facing you. Okay, so this is our front view. Now, third angle rotation, if you want to draw the side view, this side view here, how? Pivot point, this is the side, okay? So this side we need to draw here. So, now, before we start drawing, we need to take out lines from each of these, straight lines. From each, okay, line that we see, okay? From each line we need to take straight lines out. Why? So that we know how to align, okay, correctly. So, and make it easier. Now, again, this is the front here. Now, the side view, this side view that we will draw is this. So, we have this cube that we can see, which is 2 centimeter, which will be the size from here to here. So, let me just make sure I have enough space here. So this will be a 2 centimeter cube. This cube attached to it from this side, which is actually where this line is. Where this line meets here, this is where the cube has to be. and it's 1 by 1 centimeter. Now, from here you can see also this surface. This is also facing you, okay? So this surface we also need to draw, which is plus 1 centimeter here, and then it's completely to the ground, okay? Plus 1 centimeter, and then we will draw it. So another centimeter, this surface, okay? This is what we can see. Now we draw this, and this surface. Now we have these surfaces to draw. So these three end, this corner ends here, and this corner ends here. So it's going to, where does it end? Do you see the first row? If you imagine it as a front view, these are the same cubes. But now we will draw them not from here, we will draw them from here. Okay? So that's why we have these red lines that show us the alignment. Okay. So they will end up until here and here. 1, 2, 3. Okay? On top we have two surfaces that will end on this line, because these are these cubes that we are drawing now. And then we have this surface here. Which are these same cubes, just rotated in a different way, okay? Front view, we see this. Side view, we see this. Okay. So this is the front again. That side view is rotated like this. Now, we need to rotate it like this to draw the other side. Now, in our case, this side view is the same like this, but you still need to draw it, okay? You still need to draw it, even if they're the same. In our situation. In future, maybe you can omit, but if a view is the same. But now, no. Now you will draw everything. So, this space we said here, whatever you left, must be the same like this space, okay? So, we will start the other side view here. But, before that, with the T-square, we need to take straight lines. Straight lines, so that it helps us with the alignment. And we will start from here, okay? Here we should have had a rectangle, okay, to guide us. So, front view, this is our side view that we are drawing now. So, we have here one big cube, very similar to what we have here, but in an opposite way. And another big cube attached to it. Now, this cube here, this face, have this face on top of it, okay? So, we will put it here as 1 centimeter. These are 2 by 2. Okay, now on top here we have these three surfaces, okay, that we need to draw. They will start from here and here, and here. 1, 2, 3. Each one exactly 1 centimeter. On top we have these two surfaces, and then we have one. Again, all vertical lines must be perfect, all horizontal lines must be perfectly aligned with the T-square, okay? And the vertical lines, the T-square plus a ruler, you will put a triangle, okay, that faces up. These measurements must be 100% exact. If you put 1 millimeter mistake, it will be visible on the drawing. And these squares, because we are drawing squares, okay? Okay, from each side is a square. So one square will look a little longer, one will look a little shorter, and when I mark them, your mark will keep going down just because of the quality. So accuracy, 100%. So the paper must be stuck with the tape, you know, as I taught you, with the T-square. Nothing else will work on this drawing, okay? Now, let's continue. We have, again, our front view, okay? Here is one side, here is the front, here is the other side. Now the back view, another rotation from here. So let's draw that. From the back, how will it look like? We can see three big cubes basically here, rectangles, because we are looking at the face, at the two-dimensional face. Okay. So the space that we left here and here, again the same must be left here, and then we will draw. Now where do these cubes end? These are the ones we draw from here, the same, but now it's rotating. So it's the same height like this. The same height. We have three cubes. Okay. On top we can see these surfaces, and these, and these. Nothing else. Okay? You can see only these surfaces. And they're from the middle cube going up. Okay, so from here going up. The next will end where? On the other line, okay? This is the back view. Okay, let's go back to the front. This is the side, this is the front. Now, which is this one, okay? Now we need to draw, according to the rotation rule, the top and the bottom. So, before we do that, again, let us take lines to help us with the alignment. So, from here we take lines up. And for the bottom view later we will need, so we will take also down. These dotted lines, which should be dotted, I want to see them on the paper later. And I will put you some examples from other students to see, okay, what I'm looking for. So these must be on your paper, so I can see the accuracy of your drawing. So, the top. This was the front, which we draw here, the front view. The top will be rotated like this. Look, pivot point, rotated, okay? When you put your finger here as a pivot point, you will not make a mistake with the rotation, because you cannot rotate it in another way. So if I draw it from the top, it must be from this view. Okay, so this view must be up here in this scale. Okay, so the space that we will leave from here, this space must be the same like this, this. Okay, and we will start with this cube here. We will see here this surface, this 2D surface, which will be half of the big cube. So this will be from here to here 1 centimeter, from here to here 2 centimeter. Then we see these surfaces and this surface. So we have 2 cubes on this side, which are these 2 cubes, okay, that we can see, remember, okay? So these same cubes we will draw here. Here we have another 2 cubes first. Let me put those. Then, so these 2 cubes, I put them. Then we have these 2 surfaces here. And from the other side, we have the same. And on top of this, we have one big surface. Okay? So here is 1 centimeter. Sorry, 2 centimeter by 2 centimeter. Now, from this view, we can also see these surfaces, this and this. Okay? So, these are the views, the flat views that we can see from here. The depths we cannot see. Okay? Now these lines, as you can see, they help us identify where this line should be, where this line will be. So they are all aligned. If you put this object a little bit to the side or anywhere else, it's wrong. Okay? Because you see this object now that you're drawing, this is very simple, like cubes, two size cubes put together. Very easy object. But imagine in the future if you draw an interior. If you're an interior designer and you draw an interior and you have to draw it with all the details, with hundreds of measurements, and you make a mistake in the alignment, it will be a disaster because it will confuse the whole drawing, okay? Even here it will confuse. If I look at it and it's wrong, I will not understand the shape. So be very careful of the rules. Now, the bottom view. We need to draw now the bottom, okay? So this is the front. This is the front, the top. Now, the bottom will be exactly like this. Not like this, okay? Like this, because of the rotation rule, third angle rotation, okay? So, the bottom. We have these lines to help us, where to start, where to finish. Now, from here to here, we need to leave the same space, okay, like we did here. Let me remove this. Yeah. So, the same space we have here, we have to leave here, okay? So, here it should be free space. Okay, now we have what from the bottom? 3 big surfaces and then 1 big surface attached to here, and this we can see. Great. Let me start with this cube here. So it's starting from here in the middle, 2 by 2 centimeter. Then we have small cubes attached to it from the side. Each one 1 by 1 centimeter. Now this line here, and this line here, and this line here, everything must be aligned, okay? Then we have the 3 big surfaces underneath. So this is also by 2 centimeter each, according to the lines aligned. So this should be our bottom view. So now we are done with the views. We will move to the next step. The next step is, as an orthographic drawing, we need to what? Put measurements. Measurements. Now the measurements have a lot of rules that you need to apply. First of all, I need to show several measurements. You need to put at least several so that I can see, even though it's obvious that the big cubes are 2 by 2 centimeter and the small 1 by 1, but here the point is not that. The point is to show me the technique correctly. So you need to put me several measurements, even if you repeat yourself, okay? So from here to here, how much? From here to here, from here to here. These small cubes, how much? This one, how much? Okay, so several measurements. How to put measurements? We need to start from the small to the large. So if we have, for example, first of all, this is the way. We have a line, straight line. We have triangles at the end. So each of these corners of the triangle should touch these lines, okay, the dotted lines. So you have dotted lines, okay, like this. The corner of the triangle must touch the line, not above the line, not below. Because this shows me that you want a measurement from here to here exactly, okay? Okay. Now, if we have a certain measurement, and then, for example, we have a bigger measurement, or a smaller, okay? Be careful how you arrange them. So, if we have a smaller measurement first, if we have another line here, so we have another line here, and I will have to put another line like this. Now, if I have a bigger measurement, we have another line here, let's say. So we have, again, the same thing. Now, please notice something. When we arrange the measurements, you start from the small and you go towards the big. You cannot put, for example, this measurement here and the small one in between and then a big. So big, small, no. Okay? You must order them from the small to the big. Okay? And these spaces here, do you see the spaces? Must be the same. So even if you have more measurements, okay? The spaces must be the same. How much? Again, this is not a rule, how much to put. But if you put from here to here, let's say 3 centimeter space, don't put the measurements too far apart. Keep, for example, 0.5 millimeter, okay? Between each. That's enough, okay? Maximum 1 centimeter between each measurement. But it must be the same. So if you put half centimeter, here must be half, here must be half, here must be half. And ordered from the small to the large. Now, another rule. The measurements must have exactly where is the line in the middle, deleted. This line in the middle, delete. This line in the middle, delete. And you will put here the number. For example, this side here, for example, 10 centimeter, okay? Then you will put here 10. This is, for example, 5, for example, okay? This is 1. So you delete exactly in the middle and you put me the number inside. Now, if you want to be more organized, you can put them inside a square, you know, each one of these, or a circle, or, you know, this kind of stuff. But the number must be exactly in the middle of the line, not up here, not down here, okay? The size of the number must be the same. Not one number big, one number small, okay? No. All of them the same size. So what you do in this drawing, it's very important. What you do here in this plate, you have to do it everywhere in the same way, okay? Even these triangles, do you see these triangles? They have to be the same size. Not, for example, the same size and style. So you cannot, for example, draw one line that look like this and another line that look like this, or bigger or smaller. No, not allowed. Now, any mistake on your drawing according to these rules, there will be consequences. So if you cannot draw good triangles freehand, use the ruler. Even if you have hundreds of triangles, use the ruler. It has to look like it came out from a computer, okay? But freehand, with the rulers, of course. Now, so straight lines from small to large, same spaces, numbers in the middle, the same size. What if you have a very small space, like even this, look, it's kind of very small, and sometimes you don't have a place to put the number. So instead of making the number super small, there is another solution. So instead of doing this, you can do this kind of thing. So you can put the triangles the opposite way, but they need to touch the line, and then you show me that this is, for example, whatever, 1 centimeter, 0.1 millimeter, whatever. So if the space is very small and you don't have where to put the number, you put it in this way. That's one solution, okay, for the problem. So in our drawing here, for example, we need to see how much from here to here. So we leave a space, enough space. Now from here there will be a problem because there is writing. So I will put it here. From here to here, I will explain later what I mean. Okay? So from here to here, I will put here a line, the triangles, delete in the middle. Now, how much is this? Now, please remember this very important thing here. The number you place here is the real size, not the scale size. The scale here, this is 2 centimeter. This is 1, 1, 2. So it's how much? 6. But you don't put 6 here. You put the real size. How much is the real one? 30. 30? 10, 20, 30. Okay, so we put here 30. Okay, let's check now from here to here. How much? So, please remember you must have the dotted lines very clearly, okay, shown. So you extend more dotted lines for the measurements. So, from here to here, how much? We don't have a lot of space, so I will put this triangle from here. How much is the real size? 5. Okay, so we will have here a number 5. Now, from here to here, how much? We will leave the same space, okay? From here to here, the same space, from here to here, and from here to here. So we will put a line. How much this? 15, right? Okay. So we will have here, for example, a 15. Okay. Now, from here, from this object to this object here, how much? So all of it. How much? Oops. Okay, so what do we have here? So we have here 10, 20 centimeter, okay? So again, we leave the same space and we put a line. Delete in the middle, put 20, for example. And so on. But we always need to start in order. Now, if we have here, from here to here we want to show, we will put triangle here again, 10, okay, it will be 10. Now, if I want to put now from here to here, okay, there will be another measurement here. Look, I'm starting from the small to the large. 15, for example, okay? Then, the next, from here to here I want to show. So, whatever the number, okay, here. 25. So, please notice, from the small to the large. From the small to the large, okay? And everywhere the same way. Now, where you put these measurements, you can put them spread out everywhere. But try to put as many as you can in one place. Okay, as much. For example, 3 here. What you cannot show from here, you show it from here. Because different views have different information, okay? So, we cannot see this side here. Actually, we can. From here to here, it's from here to here. Okay? So if I put this measurement, it's the same like this. So if I want to put it here, I can in this way. Put dotted lines down. Put, for example, from here to here. And this will be 20, for example. Okay? So you can put from here, from the top. Here you can have measurements, okay? But important. Even if you repeat some, for now it's good, because I need to see how you put the spaces, how you deal with the measurements, how did you put it correct, not correct. So I need to see these things put more than normally we will, normally, okay? So, now, there is something important to think about here, and to be careful. Now, these views will have names, naming. Like, you cannot leave them without naming them. So which view is that? This is the front view. So we must have here front view. Front view. Here we must have bottom view. From the top, top view. Here you can name this, for example, side 1, this could be side 2, or side view 1, side view 2. Okay, all of it is okay. And this is the back view. Now, please notice here what problem we have. I need to put the writing under the view. You cannot put this here above, I mean, okay? If this is the front view, the writing under. This is the bottom view, the writing under. Now, look here what problem we have. We have a number here. We have a measurement. So, this is a problem. So, we need to delete this measurement because we have a naming to put. So, this is going to be side 1. Now, okay, but I want this measurement. Okay, we can put it on top. Okay? So, don't put measurements where the writing is. The same, I can put it from here. Put lines up. Okay. And if you have a problem here, you can see some other view that will show you the same information and put it there. Important not to have measurements where the writing is. So as much as possible, try to avoid it. If you have space somewhere else, opportunity, put it. So, now, very important. These writings are not freehand. You need to buy rulers, you need to be very careful. For example, if you have something saying front view, this must be inside the box, okay? Very carefully drawn, very carefully done. And you see this here, the lines of the box, they have to be aligned with the other. So this will be inside the box here, this will be inside the box, this will be inside the box. And when we take a line, they have to be aligned. Not one go up, one go down. This is very important. Also, this can be smaller than the view. Like you can have a big view and a small writing, front view, but this must be in the middle. Not here or here. In the middle of the view. In the middle, okay, of the view. And all of them have to be aligned with each other. It is a lot of information, but simple information. But if you forget, it is a problem in the drawing. We need to see all of this applied, okay? Please be careful with the size of the writing. We have a small drawing, okay, in an A3 paper. We don't want to see the writing bigger than the drawing. It's just not logical, and so the writing needs to be small. Small, it could be like a 10-point text, 12-point text, but not to be big, bigger than the view. Okay, just be careful. Okay, now, in every orthographic drawing, okay, we have also information box. Now, in real drawings in the future, this information box can become really big, you know, like a lot of information inside. In our case, it's just a practice, so we will have 3 cells divided in equal parts, okay? Now, how much is this length? It's up to you, but again, don't make it like taking half of the paper. It should take a small, like 1/5 of the paper maximum. 1/10, 1/6, 1/5 of the paper. So you will see these students, the size of the box. Some make it smaller, some make it bigger. Important for us to see the writing, but not to be too big for the paper, okay? So, this information box, you decide this side, what it's going to be, but the cells must be divided equally. Inside, I want the following information. So, we will have in the first cell the student name. What is your name? The second, we want scale 1 to 5. This is very important, so we know what you did here. What is the scale, okay? 1 to 5. Then units. What units did you use? Millimeter, centimeter, whatever, kilometer, okay? So you need to put. Now notice when we put the numbers here, we didn't put centimeter on each one. Like we have only 10, 15, 20, 25, but no centimeter here, okay? Because we cannot put on every number centimeter, centimeter, centimeter. It's taking space, it's making the drawing too much information for nothing. That's why we put here units, centimeter. I know that all the numbers are in centimeter. One time you put it, okay? Again, this here must be, you know, when you have your cell, it must be in the middle. You must leave sufficient space from here also, okay? And from here and from here. The writing must be in the middle, very clean, very organized, not freehand, okay? You can use capital letters like this. These are all in capital, in big letters only, or a mix, like this is mix, capital and then small, capital and then small. It's correct, all of it is correct. But you must keep the same style. So if you write your name like this, then you must write the scale, the units also in capital. Not one capital and one mixed, okay? The same here, okay? You can make them capital letters or capital and small letters. This is also important, to have consistency of style, especially in technical drawings, like the orthographic. When we have accurate drawings, everything must be consistent in style. Okay. So, history information. Some students include the type of drawing, which is orthographic drawing, which is even better. You can do that, or leave it as a 3-cell box. So, our drawing is ready like that. When you complete all these steps, the orthographic drawing is ready. So now we know, basically, what do we know? What do we know? An object, a 3-dimensional object from all its sides, from all the views. A multi-view drawing of this. So anybody look at this, know exactly how this object, the measurements, what they are, how to construct it, how to make it, okay, to build it, basically. And everything is 100% clear. The rotations are correct, so we know exactly how they look like. If you have mistake in the rotation, it will confuse the viewer, okay? And usually in design, you will have a drawing like this of an idea, of a design. And later, draw the isometric drawing, which we will draw next class, the isometric of this. And then, usually, the construction of this happens, okay? So this is the correct stages. But in our case, we have this, as I said, so that we can look at it and learn from it, okay? Any questions about this? Anything not clear? Okay, just think a minute and ask me.